Good afternoon. How are we all? I hope we are all well. I'm just doing my check. It says I'm live. Well, it says I'm live, but I can't see it. But, you know, one more check and... doesn't usually take this long to come through, which is odd. That's strange. Right. So let's just... Never had this happen before. It says I'm live, but I can't find it. If you are watching live, please comment to say you can see me, just so that I know. That's really strange. I might have to get Hayden to have a look and see if... there it is. I can see it now. Okay, I can close that. Sorry about that. My little thing was telling me I was live. It said live, but it wasn't showing up in my feed. And I never trust Facebook saying one thing and doing another. So yeah. Right. Excitement. No. Oh, excuse me. We have got some fantastic news. Hi, Julie. Oh, good. That's all right then. Exciting news. Lots and lots and lots of exciting news. Let's switch cameras and I'll run you through, because I've got some flyers just to remind me, really. But we've got a 24-hour sale on, 15% off stamps and stamp tools. Now, what that means is things like the scrub, stamping mist, the chamois, grid paper, the brayer blocks. You're just having a coffee. Why not? I've got my cup of tea. Done my cup of tea. So yeah, it doesn't include stamps that are on the last chance list. It's only the full price stamps. Obviously, because the others are already discounted. So that's 15% off until, I believe, it's 10:59 tonight. Because of the way it works with the US and everything, it started last night at 11 p.m. so it'll go to then. But yeah, so there's some great bargains to be had there. And then also, besides that, World Card Making Day. Now, World Card Making Day is the 4th of October, and Stampin Up are doing a free event, which is online. It's from 1 till 2 p.m. and the cat's coming to say hello. And you can just go online and register for it. Now, they will be using the Handmade and Heartfelt kit, which is a lovely kit, and I haven't done a print out of that. So it's an all-round kit in these colours, funnily enough, and it comes with a little storage box, more like a desk caddy type thing, because it's cut on the diagonal front, and then I think there's 4 pockets in it, which look about that wide. So yeah, so that's available now. So you can order the kit to do the kit along, or just do whatever you want, but join the free event and craft along with anybody and everybody. Right, next one. Stampin' Up are going to be starting craft classes, online craft classes. Let me just turn my page of notes. And the first one is the 23rd of October from 9 p.m. At 9 p.m, sorry. It's available from the 1st of October. I know I'm telling you quite a way in advance, but just so you know. It's £37 to attend the class. And I'd say you can do it with whatever you like. If you just want to pay to join the class and learn how to do the cards and that. I've joined Stampin' Up classes before and not had the products. I've joined other people's classes and not had the product and just swapped out for what I fancy using. But they're using the Traditions of Christmas suite. So yeah, that's that. I just wanted to tell you that, but you have to buy the products separate. And then finally, where's my notes on this? Got my little pad of notes. This is what I'm most excited about. 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. It will be available from the 23rd of September. It's while stocks last. And it's an advent calendar that contains craft products. All the products are exclusive. They've not been seen before. They're just coming in this advent. Now, you get a stamp set that's 2 sleeves of stamps, photopolymer stamps. The one is all sentiments and the other one's images that coordinate with the products that are in your advent. Now there's papers, dies, embellishments, all sorts of stuff, and it's all year round. It's not specifically Christmas. They're things that can be used all year round. You can use again and again and again. Now, I'm excited about this because I like advent calendars. Who doesn't? And to get a crafty one, even better. It's £94 and it will be available from the 23rd of September. So, you know, if you want a present off for me or off to a loved one, bear that in mind. Right, so that's what I've got to explain to you that Stampin' Up have going on. Myself, I'm just busy getting things sorted. I've been a major taxi for Hayden, being at uni. His times have been all over the place, so I've been shuttling him about. But yeah, right, crafting, because that's what we want, isn't it? I've babbled enough. There was a lot to take in there, actually, and I got through it really quick, didn't I? So if you have any questions, just reach out. Right, branch out bundle. This is what I've been using this week, and I love this bundle. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's one of the ones I want. I haven't purchased a lot of Christmas stuff. I didn't need to purchase a lot because I have to reach minimums each month, each quarter, and I try and stick to around my budget, which is 300 a quarter. I blew it out the water last month. So I didn't need to, well, I blew it out the water the month before. I don't need to order anything. But with new products and that coming out and stuff that I needed to stock up on. So I was very particular on what I ordered for Christmas. But when I saw this, I was like, I love it. It's not specifically Christmas. I mean, the sentiments are wishing you a day filled with many happy moments to a very special someone, sent with lots of love from our family to yours. Happiest birthday wishes. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. Hello and friend. So there is nothing Christmassy about it, really. The only one I'd say is is that from our family to yours, and the day filled with many happy moments, really. Yeah, sent with lots of love, she could, you know, but they're not specific Christmas. And these, I think, are very versatile. They'll do for anything, won't they? You know, any occasion, male, female, whatever, you could use them. But these dies were the first thing that drew me to it, and they're nesting frames. Sorry about the glare. And they've got stitching on. And just look, a bit ago, I was like, I need some rectangles. I've got no rectangular dies. And very often, I want something rectangular. So I used to have to just cut a rectangle. Nothing wrong with that. I wanted to die, really. So it was a bit fancier. And then they come out with these. And not only is it a die so it's fancy, it's got the little corners as well, which I love. And then you get some couple of little sprigs, an acorn, and this long, almost garland of berries, which I haven't used yet. But yeah, I'm loving this, and I thought that goes great with the Nests of Winter designer series paper, which is this one that carried over. And in fact, I ordered myself another pack because I just love it so much. And with it being birds and branches, I thought it'd go great with that. And I love fussy cutting with that, the birds. So that's my reasoning behind it. And I just think it's very versatile. Right, so today I've got a couple of ideas. I've pulled out some of the beautiful gallery papers because I'm thinking, well, we're autumn, aren't we? So let's have an autumn themed card. So I've pulled some of those out, but then I also thought about doing an alcohol technique, which I haven't done for a while. So we're going to do that first. So I'm going to grab my glass mat because I don't want to be making a mess everywhere and then needing to clean it all up. Now, I'm sorry, there will be the glare, I'm afraid, but once I'm going, we'll be all right. Right, I'm going to bring in some basic white card blank, first layers that I have pre-cut. So these are 10 by 14.4. And then I'm going to grab, I think for my first one, I don't want it that big. I'm going to grab my block. And this block's the E block. I'll just give that a bit of a clean. Let's move that out the way. I've got so much stuff on my desk at the moment. It's very untidy. I'm currently doing a training boot camp about growing my business. And it first thing is tidy and declutter. Which most you know, I tend to keep my area quite tidy and organised anyway. But you know, there are always those times where we can do better. Right, so I'm going to grab some blends, and I think we're going to go a bit of cherry cobbler, Cajun craze, pumpkin pie, and I might put in a little bit of pecan pie. It's quite autumnal, isn't it? All right, how these, I'm not sure on my cherry cobbler how this is working. Oh, all right. So I'm just going to add some colour in various places on here with light and dark. And this is always a bit of a go for it and see. There's no set way of doing this at all. just bits here, bits there. It is easier if you use the thicker end. Why I use the thinner end on the, I do know, because my like that one, it doesn't work. It's been messed up, and it's me that's messed them up. Hayden goes mad at me because I use them to flick, and it adds, it fluffs them, but I don't mind that. Right, I'm going to bring in a bit of we'll go Daffodil Delight, but I am only going to use the dark. Oh, and again, as you see, that's what I do to my nibs with fluffing them. Well, that one is working, so we'll just add some bits of Daffodil Delight where there is nothing. There we go. Right, now I'm going to grab some alcohol and I'm going to spray. We want this to bleed, so all the colours bleed. I don't want it so they're separate. There we go, and then we'll just lay that on top and allow it to soak through. Just give that a bit of a press down just to make sure, because it wasn't coming through so much there, but I think we're okay. We'll lift that off, and there we go, we have a pretty background. Alright, so I'll just wipe that off, and it's hardly any mess because it's alcohol, that just evaporates. I'm going to do another one, but I want to go darker with this, so I'm just going to use my dark. The dog has seen a cat. Is that dark? Yeah. I'll do this one slightly different. Pumpkin pie. So we've done our pecan pie, we'll add our pumpkin pie. And Cajun craze. And I'm doing this, as you can see, in lines, more or less. Just colouring areas. And a cherry cobbler. Yeah, I don't, oh, it does. I was going to say, I don't think this one works, but it does. So there we go. Right, and again, I need a piece of card. And we will give that a spritz. So it's nice and wet. And we want it to bleed. There we go. If you want it bled more, you can move it about, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. And we'll stick that on. Put that away because I'm just going to do the two. And there we go. See, I prefer that, but that's personal choice. I'll just wipe that off and all that will disappear. It's just another way of using your blends and a fun way to create backgrounds. And I'm going to do some splatting on these for extra yeah, I think this just a bit of extra texture. I'm in a textury background feel today. This is what I'm going to do. Am I using alcohol? Yes, Julie, these are the alcohol markers. You can do the same thing with bright markers and water. It's just the alcohol dries quicker. then we'll have a bit of yellow on that one, not on the other one because there isn't any. Yeah, the alcohol will dry quicker, so it's easier. Right, so just move those to the side. And if I grab my alcohol spray again, where I've got it on my mat and it won't just wipe off because it's dried, I can spray that and it'll come off nice and easy. I have got some alcohol wipes, but they're dearer than going and buying a big bottle of alcohol and putting it in a water spritzer. Right, so we can pop that away. This is our messy one. Right, so they look quite different. It is a nice effect, yeah. And you can do it with all colours. So because I don't like the white border on these, I'm going to die cut a panel out using one of these. And we'll see which ones will fit. That one is the one we're going to go with because it just fits. Sometimes it's just nice to have a play, isn't it? You know, and have a go at doing something a bit different. I know you like to get messy. Alright, so that's going to go around there. Happy with, not quite level. Make sure it's level because it's not quite to the each top and bottom. There's going to be a little bit, but that's fine. I don't mind. We'll have a bit of white on the edges, but from where it's bled, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, see, it's not quite to the very edge, but that's okay because it's not a straight edge. Where it ends, it bleeds out, so you get away with that, I think. But again, you know, it's all personal preference of what you like, what you prefer. This one, because it is a bit more of a straight edge, will probably look a bit stranger. But we'll see. I was feeling very autumnal today. And it's gone quite warm, hasn't it? And put this top on, put a long sleeve top on. And I really don't need it because I'm a little bit warm. So I think I'm going to open the window. Just bear with me a sec. And it is open on vent, but I'm going to open it properly. There we go. Just let a bit more of the breeze through because we have got quite a breeze going on. But yeah, very warm. Right. See, I'm not as in love now with the way that's cut because it's quite a straightish edge and the white. Whereas I prefer that one because it's a bit more of a bled edge, but not an issue. Right, so I think we're going to have to mount these on a colour. What colour should we go? How about a colour I don't use very often? Cajun Craze. I'm not a huge Cajun Craze fan. It has its place. But I'm not the biggest fan. I'm just kind of thinking that's a little bit much. But I like the contrast. Cherry Cobbler. And sometimes this is what you need to do. Oh, I prefer that. That looks better. Yeah, sometimes it's what you need to do is just try, pull out pieces of card and try it. We can have ideas in our head, and sometimes, a lot of the time, they're perfect, but not always. Oopsie, note to self, don't start watching The Lovely Lisa and leave your visual. Oops, burnt veg and salmon for lunch. Oh dear. Oh, Julie. When I'm watching people, I tend to put it then on my phone and I take it with me when I'm cooking. That's funny. I'm sorry. I want to add gold to this. I like using gold for autumn. Now, my gold sheets, I believe, are retired sheets, but we do have, oh, sorry, some gold sheets available. So I'm going to go up a size in my frame and cut a gold frame out, gold layer. So let's just chop that around where we need it. That can be saved. Now, I don't normally gut my card, take the middles out. I'm just like, you know what? It's card. Why do we need to gut it? But I am going to with the gold, and I do it with any got foiled card. Tend to do it with glimmer card, things like that, because it's not cheap. So I've used the shape I want. The size I want is the largest. I use the next one down for my actual piece. So I'm going to go down a size again. Just checking. Yeah. To take out the middle. Because I don't want it showing when I layer it up. And then that'll give me a gold frame or a gold label frame that I can use on another project. Right, should have done this before. It's moving all over the place. I should have grabbed my machine before, and I could use some washi tape or some reusable tape to stick it down, but it's not on my desk. So there we go. That should stay. That's it. And just run that through. So yeah, I'm not a big gutter of cardstock, but I am for my expensive cardstock, or my more expensive cardstock, should I say. But yeah, that leaves me that to use for something else, and I might gut that again depending what I use it for. Right, so that then will sit on there. So we've got a nice gold frame, and that just breaks it up a little bit. I thought it was too stark a contrast from one to the other. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue on here, just around the edge. And then I can glue it onto my frame. Now, when gluing foil or onto foil, you need to be careful because it takes longer for it to get tacky and catch. And if you move, you will mark the foil, and it's harder to get glue off foil. I see Hayden in my peripheral vision. So just hang on a moment. Yes, okay, dear. He's just going to tell me he's going in the shower. we're at uni later. It's Freshers Week. Excuse me. So basically, he's going when he wants. They've got activities going on, and he's chosen what he wants to do. Most of them involve or take place in the bar. Well, that's a shock, isn't it? But he's doing painting tonight. But it's on till 12, 5 till 12. But I have said, you know, if there's any chance of you coming a little bit sooner, please do. Right, so I like that. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to stick that on there, but I'm going to stick it on with dimensionals just to rise it up a little bit. In fact, I've got these edge pieces, which are perfect when you've got things like this. Right. It's just a little corner piece, so we can use that around our corners. And that. Do I have any more standard size dimensionals? Yes. I tend to buy a lot of mini. And just use mini. I had these from my adhesive shop for my class. And I thought, you know what, I may as well just use them. I'm not currently doing classes at the moment. With, again, things changing at home and everything, I thought, you know what, let's just chill out. And then I can, that might be enough. I don't like it to go, no, we need some more. Soggy in the middle if it gets squished. There we go, that'll do. But I am going to be looking at doing classes again. I want to do classes again. I enjoy doing classes. I'm going to be changing the area that I do classes. It's just finding the time at the moment, with the way everything's been, to go and visit venues and speak to people. I don't like just sending emails and asking. I want to go and visit the place and see, introduce myself, show them a little bit about what I'm about, what I'm thinking of doing. So yeah, right, so red in the bottom or red at the top? I like it at the top. I was thinking bottom because it's heavier, but then I quite like it there. There we go, and pop that there. And you wouldn't know that that's not a full piece of gold behind there. Right, stamp set. Let's do some stamping and get some bits on. Just making sure I've got almost little scrap bits before I use some bigger bits. Right, I think we need to, I think with this one, I am just going to die cut some bits. I was going to stamp and fussy cut, but I think it'll just be nice die cutting a few bits. Okay, right, scrap box. So I want some pecan pie. I'm loving pecan pie at the moment. We're doing autumnal. I want some early espresso. These have even got, some of them have got sticky sheets on the back, so that make it even easier. And I want some, let's go shaded spruce. I think shaded spruce is a lovely autumnal green. And then cherry cobbler we want, don't we? Now this card is actually just coming out. There's no thought, no real planning. It's just happening as we see it. Right. So let's grab, I'm going to get the smaller machine because it's easier for you to be able to see. Right, so I want some shaded spruce ferns. I'll do a couple of these. And remember, I always like to try and go lengthways with my dies. They go through a lot easier. Well, I'm just going to poke these off to the side here. Oops, come on. Okay, it's gone back in. Didn't catch it quite in time. There we go. And then poke out those little pieces that we don't want. And we'll have another one of those. It's okay that way because it's on the diagonal. Yeah, so I'm taking Hayden later. Tomorrow's the last day I'll be taking him. It's then buses from then on. And tomorrow's a late one again. I can't remember what time he's got to be there tomorrow, but I know he doesn't finish till 1:30 Saturday morning. Though he was there late the other night and he rang me early to go and fetch him. It was supposed to be till 11, and he'd finished at 10. So, because of course a lot of the people that are there are actually in dorms. So when they've had enough, they're like, oh, we're going now. But one of them was very nice and hung around outside with him until I got there. So he wasn't sat on his own. Because I was thinking, oh my gosh, is he going to be sat there? But no. I waited with him. That was nice. And it's not a bad journey over there. Especially when it's quiet. It takes me like half an hour. I'm just going to do a couple of these. I might only use one, but I'll just do a couple. And then we'll have to do a sentiment for on here. Okay, that's that one done. Right, I want to do, yeah, we'll have this in shade in the early espresso, but I'm also going to add on pinecone. I'll have a couple of those. Lovely cute pine cones. I just want one of those. Oh no, thank you. Get a few of these out. Just do 3 pine cones. I do think these are fab. Really little cute pine cones. It's not going to grab, is it? It's my fault for not staggering my plates properly. 3 of those, and then this, and I want one of those also in cherry cobbler. I'll do it, oops, like that. I can get another one out after if I want one or if I need one. So what you been up to today, everybody? Anything exciting? I've been doing some training, or listening to some training. Getting things sorted. Oops, oh gosh, that's what I'm truly stuck on there. Okay, that's those. There we go. Right, there's 2 ways I was thinking with this, because I'd like red berries on the brown stalk. Now I could cut all the red berries out, or I could see if I could colour using my Stampin' Right marker, which, don't forget, these are leaving us. They're currently on last chance. And colour the stem. In fact, I think that is going to be the easiest. So I just want a piece of scrap. Here we go. Grid paper, just so that I don't get it all on my mat. Julie's in the office, dinner break, back to it in a bit. Oh, day jobs, eh? In fact, if I bring you down, because you can't see what I'm doing very well. Okay, let's lift that up a bit. So I've got it all in the cherry cobbler, and then I'm just colouring in what will be the actual stem on there. Doesn't have to be perfect so that they end up perfectly round, but so that it looks somewhat is always a good help. I don't want them to be square. Yeah. Well, I've got Deloff. I need to move that up a bit because it's in my way. I've got Deloff tomorrow. He's booked some time off because he was going to go to Pendine for the racing for the weekend, but couldn't get anywhere to stay. So he's just going to go for the day Saturday because it's his birthday Saturday. So he's doing that, but he's still having the time off because he's got holidays that need using. So I'm not sure what we'll do tomorrow, if we'll do anything. Saturday, like I say, he's off to Pendine, so he'll be up and gone early. And then I've got team meeting first thing. And then I'm off over to Louise, my uplines, for the afternoon. We're going to have a crafty afternoon. We're going to have a nice catch up and craft. And then back home. Dell'll probably be home around the same time as me. If he's not already back, it won't be much later. And then obviously he's off Sunday, and he's also got Monday off. So we'll see if we're gonna do something on Monday. Oh, there we go. So you can see now we've got the two-tone of the brown, the early espresso, and the red on the berries. You might be able to see. Yeah, there you can. And that's an easier way of doing that than cutting all the berries off and sticking them on. I really didn't fancy that. I'll just lift you up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it'd be a great long weekend. I want to add a little bit to these as well. You know, sometimes things just feel a bit flat. So I'm just going to grab my brush that's already got some green on. What green it is, I'm not sure. I think it's garden green. But that's okay. It's darkening some of the edges on those to just give them a little bit of depth, which I bet you can't see on camera. That one's better. If you can see that, yeah, the one side's darker. It just adds a bit of depth on those. And then for the pecan pie, I'm not sure what colour this is. Okay, well, they're still on here. Oh my gosh. What colour is that? That's an orangey. That's not going to show, I don't think. No. So let's just grab pecan pie ink. Might actually be pecan pie on there. Got a bit of something on it. Just feel. There we go. That's showing on there. Just gives those a little bit of shading. Right, let's see where we're going with this. So I'm liking the thought of having our stalk, and then maybe a bit of this. The brown, and then we can add in some pine cones, and then a nice sentiment. Yes, right, sentiment. Got lots of sentiments, and I suddenly thought the other day I bought a traditional labels stamp set, which comes with all the, well, if you buy the bundle, it also comes with these. And I was like, they'll be excellent for things. But looking at it, I think they're just that little bit too big, as in wide. But they're up there, and I keep forgetting I've got them. Because I'm kind of thinking that, do I want birthday? I'm not sure. Oh, see, that's what I'm thinking. Wishing you a day filled with many happy returns. Obviously not in that colour, but that gold embossed. And that can be used for lots of things then, can't it? So, yeah, that's what we're going to go for. We're going to gold emboss on cherry cobbler. And I want it quite long. So let's grab, I wonder if that, and then any of my banners. It'd fit in that, but I'm wondering if that's a bit wide on there. I don't think I want it quite that wide. Right, let's get it stamped and embossed first, and then we can trim it down. It would be nice to have it die cut so that it tied in, but it's not a problem if we don't. Versamark. I love doing a lot of gold embossing at Christmas and autumn. Just think it adds warmth and opulence. I'm loving the word opulence at the moment. Right, there we go. Lovely. Put that over there. Itchy hand. Let's just pop this on here and sprinkle it over so that we cover a little tap off. And that's not covered that properly. That's better. Yep. I'll add that back into our pot because we don't want to waste it. I mean, that'll last a good many years, but why waste it? Right, so I need to plug in my heat tool. So I'll just unplug my phone a sec. I'll plug the phone back in after. Remind me to plug my phone back in if I don't do it. In fact, I did it from the bottom the other day and it worked better. That's hot. There you go. You can see that happening. That's all nicely melted. All right, take out the heat tool and pop my phone back in. Right. I think I am just going to trim that. And as always, when I trim, I like to trim with my guillotine. I find it easier. I tend to line up the bottom of my sentiment. You can't see. So the bottom of my sentiment there, I line up with the inside of here. And that tends to give me a nice edge. See how it leaves just enough after it. It works for me. So I can just see it poking out. And then I cut. So yeah, I like that. They can go in the bin. Right. I have that there. So I am going to do a banner or do I just cut? I think I'm just going to cut. I'm not very good at bannering. So just chop that there and then move that round to the bit I've cut off. I move to the other side so that I get the same angle. I'll level it up. I can cut the same angle then. See, it would look nice that way. Now I could go that way because I can chop that down. In fact, I'm going that way. I don't like 10th fold cards, but this is going to be a 10th fold card. Now, I want that sticking out the bottom like that. So I'm going to chop it there. I'm going to glue that down because that hasn't got sticky on it. My gosh, it's taken me nearly an hour. I was hoping to get a couple of cards done, but I'm not going to, am I? It's just the one. Too much talking. Right, so I'm going to add that there just so it sticks out a bit at the bottom. My desk's looking very dark, and yet I've got all my lights on. Strange. Okay, and then this bit, because I don't want it sticking up any further than the top card. You probably can't see that on there. I'm going to cut off where they overlap because I don't want them overlapping. There we go, and then we'll add some glue to this. I don't put glue everywhere, just on a couple of little areas. That's enough to hold it because we've got other things that are going on top. There we go, beautiful. And then I'm just going to pop that there just so that I can see where things need to go. I'm going to follow that same line with this. Like so. And then this one I'll twist over a bit. Scrape some of that excess off. I'll add that there just so it's twisted just a little bit. Add a bit more. Let me put my dimensionals on here ready. Or at least one in the middle and one that end, because I don't know how high this is going to be. I want to make sure I'm keeping most of underneath. Right, my two. Just neither of them. Just looking at which one had got the most on it. Right, so we're going to stick that down here. I'm just going to go with the one of those, like so, and then we can have some little pine cones. And if I hold that, I can pop one in there. Oops. It's so much easier having the sticky on the back. And it wasn't done purposely, it's just because I'd used the bits before, the card for cutting out sentiments, letters. And then I'll stick that one under there. Liking it. Right, so I'm going to pop my dimensional about there. And I think that's close enough to lift it, but without being on top of where I've got all that piled up. Right, don't want twine. I think we need a little bit of twine on there. And I'm just going to go with linen thread, because that'll just keep it. Don't want to go anything blingy because we've got quite a lot of bling with the gold. I just want to bring in something a bit more neutral. we can have a nice bow there. Right, yes, I just head-butted my camera. Well, it's actually my light. Let's trim that off there. Put a glue dot on our bow and then pop that where it's going so we can see. Thinking about there. Yep, hold that there, and then if I can get that off, just pop that under there. That'll go somewhere like that. You can always maneuver it about once it's done. Okay, that's looking about central. I just want to poke that in a little bit more, and because it's a glue dot we can do that. Bend it round a bit to where we want it. I'll just faff with that. Okay, I'm happy. Yep. And then we just need a few little embellishments. So let's pop this away, because as usual Lisa's got in a mess. Let's pop them out of the way. Grab our little box of embellishments. Move you up a little bit. And let's see what we've got. Oh, got some white and gold. Cream. I say white and gold, they're clear. Oh, we've got some pecan pie. I'm going to use pecan pie again, just to bring down. It's not a Christmas card per se. I don't want to go over the top on the glitz. So I'll just have a nice pecan pie, few dots about. And I'm almost hiding the larger ones within the bow, just so that they don't look too much. And then we can have that one there. Oh, there we go. Just gives it a more neutral, natural look. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I hope that's actually showing better than it is on my screen. Actually, my screen light's turned down. So yeah, oh, it is. That was just showing us more or less one big mass on my screen. But yeah, you can see I just hid in my embellishments here, so it's like hidden within that, and then one up here. But yeah, there we go. I am really chuffed with that. And then you could do something similar with this one. It's just a different way of the background, and we've got that piece that we can use, obviously not on there because it covers it, that we've cut ready. So we've got a couple of pieces that we can use for something else. So we didn't get to use the papers that I'd pulled out, but these would look really nice, I think, just as a background on a piece of paper, on a card, and then adding some extra bits, very similar to what we've done here over the top. It'll give a total different look using those colours, but I really wanted to play with backgrounds. All right, let's change our camera. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry it's taken so long to do one card. It's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes it's quick, really quick, and then other times they take a lot longer. But I really enjoyed creating that, and like I say, I love this bundle. It's a fabulous bundle. Thanks, Julie. And yeah, if you're limited on what you're going to purchase for your Christmas or winter crafting, I highly recommend this bundle, because yeah, that's very autumnal. It could easily be used for Christmas. Let me just move that up. And yeah, I mean, if you change the colours slightly and what you use, and go more green and red, bright green and red. It's very, very Christmassy. You could do blue, white, and silver. Yeah. So there you go. Don't forget about the sale that we've currently got. It's not on bundles. It's not on sweets. It's only on the stamp sets and the stamp set tools. So remember that. Right, and with everything else that we've got coming, there's lots of exciting things happening. So I will be back this evening, 7:30. I'm hoping I'll be back, dropping him off at 5. It'll probably take me till 6 to get back because of it being rush hour, but I'll be back in plenty of time to do my live. So yeah, I'll see you this evening where we'll be doing a scrapbook page using the same. You couldn't you? Yeah, exactly, Julie. If you added some little bits of snow on here, yeah, it'd look a lot more Christmassy. I'm quite tempted to make a bit of a springy kind of looking, maybe. I mean, if you did this, the long die with the berries in white, and then coloured the stem the same, so they're them little white berries, and do it like that, not use pine cones and just keep it as the sprigs, you could, yeah, it's just playing with colour, isn't it? I mean, we immediately look at something and think, yeah, because it's coming a winter catalogue, it's wintry. And yeah, on the whole, first impression is, but you can change it. You haven't got to use it. So go experiment with colours. Go experiment with alcohol. It's great fun. I love making backgrounds with alcohol. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and make sure Hayden's got everything he needs and have some lunch before I leave. So thanks again, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.